Today we're talking about asphalt. So you saw us come up and look at the pre-seal, and today we're driving over the top of it and putting the asphalt on with a couple machines. In front of us we've got quite a cool truck. It's a Flowcon, and if you are familiar with the normal tipper truck, you would know that the bin at the back will usually tip up like this, and all the things come out the back. But this truck, you can see, is starting to tip, and it hasn't lifted anything. What it's got at the base of the truck is a conveyor belt, and it means that it can spit out the material straight in to the asphalting machine. And if they're working around power lines or with a lot of weight in the tipper, it's not coming up and collecting anything or moving around as they're driving forward. In a sec, we'll see Thomas, who works with the asphalting machine. He's there to make sure that the levels stay nice and consistent. So he's shooting for about 38 mil of hot mix coming out the back. A cool thing, today's already a hot day, but the hot mix is coming out about 170 degrees Celsius. So anywhere between 160, 170 is good to lay. We are sort of cranking a bit over that today at Yellow Robin. It is a nice warm day. And that's there by a big steel plate at the back that screeds it off like you would if you're tiling. So making it nice and smooth with a screed, and they'll work up the road. Now, today we're looking to get more like 600 meters in, but if you left Thomas and Tony to their own devices, they could get up to 2 kilometers in on an average day. And Thomas works back here and is basically making sure that the thickness is not only consistent, but it's on design spec. So that's a fancy bit of gear you've got there, Thomas.
It's the latest tool.
It's the latest tool. How are we tracking?
Beautiful.
That's good to hear. Now, we've got Jaden working on the steel roller, which follows quite quickly behind the asphalt machine. He's in, and you can see it's making it nice and smooth. You can actually pick up, there's a line down there, there's a divot where he's coming along and compacting the asphalt in. You'll notice that there's water running over his steel drum, and that's there essentially to stop the asphalt sticking to the steel and peeling up. And if Jaden does his job right, he'll gently move from one side to the other, making the asphalt nice and smooth, putting that compaction there, ready for the multi-roller to come along with its rubber tires and just give it that nice finish. I'm not sure if you can hear it or see it, but there's water coming over the bitumen, and it's actually bubbling, and we can see parts of the bitumen moving. It is so hot right there. Because we're on a residential subdivision, there's no other traffic, no overhead power lines, you'll actually see we can use a truck and dog. So it carries a little bit more material than the other truck we saw, but it does mean that it tips more like a normal tipper. So if you look in a sec, they've opened up the front bin, and you can see the tip truck starting to work, and the hot mix will be entering into its little hopper. So at the very end, after all the different machines have finished working together and Richard has done his final multi-roll, we're left with a pavement that we can carefully walk on, like the one that we're on now. And in a few hours, it'll be ready for cars to drive on just like normal.